Hey, Dave, I was thinking this CougarBoard question for the week is a good one for Mike to help us with, because this is a hard one. It's a hard one to answer. Should we throw this out for all three of us? Let's do that. So I've got the CougarBoard question of the week here. If you're not familiar with CougarBoard, it's the largest online community of BYU fans, thousands of posts daily. The question is based on a post by JReed191, one of their users. He posted, hey, Bart Torvik gave us an adjusted defensive efficiency rating for Saturday's game of 134.3. And for those of you who don't know who Bart Torvik is, he's a metrics guy, right? So that is the worst rating BYU has had since at least the 07-08 season when he started tracking data. It's even worse than the December 2018 game against Weber State where we gave up 113 points. It's also the worst defensive team in the nation. It says the worst defensive team in the nation is Mississippi Valley State. They're currently 0-25. They've only had 3 games all season that were rated worse defensively than what BYU did on Saturday. So the metrics are like, this was a disaster.
Right.
So his question with all of that is, what went wrong on defense on Saturday? That's a lot of build-up to what went wrong on defense. I'm like, man, I'm going to have Mike help us with this one, because this isn't an easy one.
I think when teams that are hitting shots, they're just hitting shots. I don't care what you do defensively. When the guy's hot, they're hot. Like, I mean, how many times have we watched in any game at any level where there's a kid? My son had a high school basketball game the other day, and the other guy on the other team had 42. He was hot. It is what it is. You know what I mean? So I think that actually can expose some defenses and allow people to ask some questions and things like that. I do think at this point too, and this is an excuse for our guys, but this is a long season. This is a hard conference. Guys are traveling, and we're traveling a lot more than we've done. Again, I don't want to make any excuses for anyone, but I think these games take a toll on you at some point. And traveling and things like that, and coupled with guys hitting shots, it happens, man, and it really does happen. I was watching, I forgot who I was watching today. But again, there's a other guy on the team who got hot, and that defense looked poor.
Yeah,
it happens. So I've been on the Brown again, and I was a defensive player of the year, but there was guys I had to guard who just got hot, and it happens a lot. So again, that's not an excuse, and I didn't break down the film or anything, but it's all part of it, I think.
Yeah, and I feel like you go back, you look at the film, you say, hey, next time if we get somebody like this, maybe we make this adjustment. So you do learn from it, and you mentioned that earlier.
Oh, for sure.
But there's a reason why nobody goes undefeated. Right? And when's the last undefeated national champ? Dave, you mentioned this the other day to me. It's been
Indiana. It's Indiana in 76, I think it was.
So nobody's gone undefeated since 76. Exactly. There's a reason, because at some point in the season, even if you're the best team in the country, you lose a game because somebody just shoots it great, right? Yep. And I'm not saying that BYU couldn't do, because they did look a little lethargic at times, right?
Yeah, I agree.
And maybe they could have been there on the catch a little more. But all the other metrics in that game, like they didn't turn the ball. Like there's some other games they lost where I'm like, man, they need to handle they need to take care of the ball. Right. They turned it over 17 times, and the other team had this much. They handed them the game because of this. They didn't do what they dominated an offensive rebounding margin. They only turned the ball over 8 times. So they did all the other things. They didn't shoot it well, and the other team shot it lights out. Way better. BYU shot way worse than they ever do, and that team shot the best they've shot all season long.
Right.
That's a formula to lose. You almost feel better about a game like that because you can just go, okay, aberration. Right. We got to get back to shoot. We got to be confident. We have to throw that one away because you just can't think, man, are we going to shoot bad like this?
Right.